All right, welcome to the Anything Scout Finds series. This one is titled The Friend Find. A friend of mine, Dan from Binder Boneyeard, called me up and said, hey bro, I got this truck for sale, I think you'll like it. And I trust Dan, so that means a lot, like who you buy it from. So this series is designed to help you buy a Scout. Know what to look for. We're not gonna talk prices. If you ever have a question about that, you could reach out, email or DM us, and we'll help you figure out the right price. But this is mostly what to look for and what is your intended purpose. So we bought this truck as a basis for restoration. I actually am going to personally keep this truck. And so we have some special stuff planned, so you'll get to see more of this truck. So let's start our walk around. 1976 Scout 2, that's all I knew about it, was a 76 Scout 2. And there's always a fun process of like detective work. It didn't run, but it was complete. And what Dan told me was that it was basically like stuck in the mud, and I think he had to pull it out of the mud, and then he kept it for a little bit and then passed it on to me. So it had a blown front hub. I've already replaced it because I had to move it. And it has a blown rear diff. So there's literally a hole in the rear diff that I'll show you. And it's leaking profusely. I did get it running just yesterday, so sorry for not showing that to you. I had to replace a fuel pump, fuel filter, and put a battery in it, and I got it running. So that was awesome. The motor runs pretty decent. So let's kind of take a look. Let's start under the hood. Yeah, under the hood. So 304 IH engine, and if you note, you'll notice there's some odd things. It has two dipsticks, for example. Anytime you see a dipstick at the front of the motor and an oil fill at the front of the engine, that means it's likely a truck engine. So that's what this is. They took the Scout 2 oil pan, put it on a truck motor. Not that it matters, they're roughly the same, but it does bug me because there's like some things that are kind of not right, like the alternator is not right. Alternator bracket is kind of weird. So I'm gonna put that stuff more and more back to Scout. It's a 76, so it has disc brakes. I tested the brakes. If you look, the wiring, kind of a mess, so definitely needs a rewire. But under here, man, it's got a fan, it's got a radiator. It turned over, it actually runs pretty good. Let's go just peek on the inside real quick. This is all stuff you want to look for. It's got a pickup truck or travel all steering column with actually a column shift on it, so the column is rigged. Those are typically warning signs. Fortunately, I know how to fix all that stuff, but that's stuff that you're going to want to think through in your to-do list. It's a 4-speed transmission. Check that out. If you buy a non-running Scout and you see a shifter, you go, yeah, it's a manual. Make sure it's a 4-speed. Because if it's a 3-speed, those kind of stink, and you'll likely, I know some of you will disagree with me, but that's fine. But you'll have to. The T19 is one of the best transmissions. It's, in my opinion, the best vintage truck, like pre-1990s transmission ever made. I love it. The T19 close ratio and wide ratio are awesome transmissions. So fun to drive. But if you look, the floors are pretty rusty. It's had some janky repairs. That's kind of a problem. I'm gonna address it. It's on my list. But yeah, I like the green dash. I like the color, the paint qualities. We kind of just keep walking around, as our other finds videos. Here, come on down here. I know we're gonna show some B-roll, but this is one of the most key. This rust here, most Scouts have that rust. So so what? It needs quarter panels. That's not the end of the world. For me, I probably won't put quarter panels on it right away because I'm just gonna drive it and have fun with it. But structurally is what matters. So look at down on the mid cab mounts, the front cab mounts and wedges. This portion right here, if you can see that, where the rocker and the wheel well, all that stuff come together, that is a very important structural piece. And it's pretty solid on this truck. Exhaust is hanging off, that's fine. But just look at the overall condition. If you're gonna restore it, rust costs money and dents cost money. You could say like, oh, the tailgate doesn't have any rust, but it's got 15 dents in it and it's bowed like a compound bow, you know? That is gonna cost you money. This tailgate's pretty straight. It doesn't bother me because again, the way I'm gonna use this truck, I might fix it down the road, but for the next couple of years, I'm just gonna enjoy it. You'll see when you look into the bed of the truck, major red flag. There's thick, like 1/8 thick sheet metal coating 100% of the floor, and some kind of homemade bulkhead. Those are all red flags. Now, so what I did was I crawled underneath the truck and inspected it, and it actually looks pretty solid. So I'll do like an Instagram post when I pull this flooring out. That's gonna happen after this video. It had some janky bed rails on it. So fortunately, when I pulled these aluminum bed rails off, the bed rails are in nice shape. That's a key structural area on top of the quarters. But overall, yeah, it's got a weird fender on it. The fender was actually sweet, but it's got a, pretty major dent. So I'm gonna have to try to fix this grill, and I'll probably put a different fender on it. But overall, again, what year is the truck? This is a 76, so I know it's got disc brakes in the front, Dana 44s front and rear. That's all stuff that's important for the way I want to use this truck. Just know if you're buying a pre-75, yeah, great for smog in California, but it's likely going to have drum brakes in the front, and that's extra money. So just know what you want to use the truck for. You want to keep it a patina build, you just want a camping rig, are you going to restore it? All those things matter when you're buying the truck, and I just want to see you guys buy the right truck. I see so many people buy the wrong truck, and then they're putting good money after bad, if that makes sense. Like, they're spending a lot of money to get to where you just should have waited and bought a better truck for your intended purpose. So this truck I'm happy about because whoever bought it was obviously beating on it and didn't know how to work on Scouts and was a rigger. And that's not good, because it's like, dude, if the hubs didn't blow and the rear diff didn't blow up, it probably would be super dented. Just they would have wheeled the crap out of it and just thrashed it. So I'm happy that Dan got it, and I'm happy I got it, because now I'm gonna give it new life, and it'll just make memories, man. We're gonna have fun. I'll give you a little tiny teaser. I'm gonna convert this truck into a clone of some sort. So you'll see more about that. So that's it, quick and dirty, friend find. You can find Scouts from your friends. You can find Scouts on the internet, Craigslist, Facebook, eBay. I actually have to go because I have a eBay bid ending right now, so I gotta go check it out. If you ever need help with a Scout, give us a call. Need parts, give us a holler, or go to the website, anythingscout.com. Like and subscribe to the videos. We're gonna keep them coming, man. We're gonna try to put out more and more regular content to keep educating the community. Education is it's always been something important to us, but it's even more important as we just see more and more people getting misinformation and misled. So for those of you that are good IH shops out there, keep doing the good work, educate people. For the shops that are just out to make a buck, do better. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks. Okay guys, so next thing that's a really good idea is after you've maybe bought the truck and you get it home, is make a list. So what I did on this list was said, like, here's my systems: brakes, steering, suspension, fuel, cooling, drivetrain, heat. So I didn't mention this, but like the heater works, like the heat system works, the headlights work, the taillights don't work, the wiring's kind of a mess, the turn signals don't work, the clutch works. This is a 304 truck engine. So I just kind of went through and said, like, hey, it needs a fan, a clutch, a shroud, an overflow tank, a battery hold down. I want to do the wheel bearing, drag link. The drag link's actually bent. If you could, maybe we'll show you a clip of that. Know what differentials. This has a 354, and knowing that the rear diff's blown up and I have to rebuild that, I have some good used 354s. I want to get a correct steering column. Got to fix the dash wiring. I want to get some gauges. Anyway, just make yourself a list. Oh, and don't look at this. But make yourself a list and then just start the process. Focus on one system at a time. I just want to tell you a quick story. I bought a Scout from a guy that gave up on his project. And it was a pretty basket case truck. Like the engine was out, he was prepping for an Ellis conversion, whatever. Truck was a basket case, but the parts that I found inside the truck were like a round gauge kit, a power windows kit. It's like, I understand you get excited about those things, but don't do it in the right order. So focus on like major mechanical first. Get it running. If you're gonna do a swap, like do your swap first, then worry about like power windows and like light bar mounts and all that kind of fancy stuff. Get that stuff later. So a list will help you prioritize. You can always call us or email us and we'll help you figure out your list. But anyway, little addendum to the video. Make a list, check it twice, system by system. We'll track along. We're gonna actually do a lot of videos. We're gonna do a lot of tech tip videos on this truck because I figure I'm just like you. I'm gonna have to do a Pertronics. I'm gonna have to get fix my dash wire, get my gauges working, all that kind of stuff. Fan shroud, fan clutch. So we'll keep doing it together.